here I was on my first Indian railway journey. It was about 10 hours, and I felt like I was crossing the country. But India is so big that it was really nothing. I didn't get much sleep, and I was a little bit exhausted. But that didn't matter much, because I was very excited to finally arrive in Kerala. I needed a good rest and good food to lift me up, and then I dived right into the culture of the South with a performance of Kathakali, a complex form of storytelling through gestures, dance, and music. I enjoyed Kochi for its slower pace of life, its beaches, its fishermen, and hence its delicious seafood. And once rested enough, I moved on to Alleppey. I booked a boat tour for an afternoon, which is about the only thing to do in Alleppey anyway, and I lucked out because I thought I'd be alone, but I got to share this ride with a bunch of great people. And it made the trip 10 times better. It was very cool to discover Alleppey from its backwaters. The shore would reveal all kinds of stories, and each glimpse felt like peeping into different lives. After such a great time, we didn't want the fun to stop, so we didn't part ways just yet. Thankfully, our rickshaw was kind enough to accommodate to our chaos.
Why should I stay here, but where can I go? Do you still bother, or are you sick of it all? Why do you stay and nowhere to go? No one could love you like I do. We're breaking up, we're breaking up. What kind of virus am I to you?
If anybody knows what that game is, by the way, please let me know. It looked like serious business. Unfortunately, I had to get going as I wanted to explore the hill station of Munnar. I couldn't wait to see the landscapes of tea plantations, apparently so beautiful that it turned into a popular honeymoon destination. I asked the driver to drop me as close as possible to my hostel, but still had to hike the last meters in complete darkness. Sorry, Mom. And though it was worth it, I could only stay one night as the hostel was full for the weekend. I had no idea what to do, but as I was filming this view, a guy asked me if I wanted to get a cup of local tea. I figured might as well. I then had to ride back to Kochi, and I continued visiting on my own. But to my surprise, a bike guy came back and suggested we'd go on a trip to Chinar, a wildlife sanctuary, in the hopes of seeing elephants. Of course, I packed my bag immediately. Quick intermission while editing. From this point, I lost all my camera footage, except for this part when we were leaving the gas station. Don't ask me how I feel about it. Anyway, here's what I got. Frustrating not to be able to show you how amazingly beautiful these roads were. At least I still have some footage from my phone. It's not as thrilling, but it did capture a little bit of the magic. I had never seen tea plantations in patches like this, covering the hills with that leopard pattern. And it would light up in the sun. So over the course of the 7 hours we were on the road, I was mesmerized by the scenery. It just felt out of this world. But all good things come to an end, and I had to come back to reality. And my reality in India was bus rides, never less than 6 hours every other day. And I just have to share what it's like because it's part of the experience and it's so Indian, really. So come with me on this trip from Kerala to Tamil Nadu and see what to expect. The main thing is that you'll never know when the bus leaves or when it stops. You can only know the time of departure on D-Day, and that's by asking people at the bus stand. Then the driver decides when to stop and for how long, so don't expect anything more than one random bathroom break. It gets crowded and it gets loud. Anyway, you get the idea. But I secretly enjoyed these rides, no matter how uncomfortable, because it allowed me to feel like I was really traveling. You can see everything without moving a muscle. You cross very small villages, you watch beautiful landscapes. Of course, it is long and draining. But at least it always made me happy to get there, excited to discover a new place. And that place this time was Madurai. I immediately noticed how much smaller it was compared to where I had been. I felt small myself walking among temples that have allegedly been here for centuries. But Madurai was only a pit stop on my way to Sri Lanka, where I spent a couple weeks. I could lose myself telling once again many stories around food, friends, and adventures. But what really caught my attention was how the country's history is so deeply rooted in Buddhism. So many places are sacred, and I found this island to have its own energy. At the end of the show, I asked one of the guys, "So what's the catch? How can you stand the burn?" To which he simply replied, "Happy thoughts." Such mind power really fascinates me, and it made me all the more curious about Buddhism in that regard. So it was perfect that a monastery in the forest accepted to take me in for a few days, as I was at peace to reflect on what I had learned and free to directly ask all the questions I had in mind. Special thanks to my friend Rivata Bante for his wisdom. I wish we knew at the time of our conversations that this was only the beginning of a wonderful journey. As I made my way back to India, the best was yet to come.